IKONINI. This is a Patreon na YouTube members special, so kama unaisikia ikiwa full inamaanisha we ni member IKONINI. Alafu kama kawa nimekuja na nitangwa some unknown influencer.
Yes, finally.
Yes, some unknown influencer. So tunataka tuongee juu a few things that have happened. One of the trending stories in Kenya right now ni Mamito made a joke about Joey. And the whole world has, in other words, Kenyans have lost their ish. I don't know. Ulicheck joke Kenya?
Yeah, I've seen it. I don't think it's very offensive.
Yeah.
But then to be fair, I also, my sense of humor is twisted.
Yeah.
The things I find funny are ridiculously twisted. A lot of people may not find it funny. I don't think it's a joke to write home about, like it's one of the best jokes ever done. No, it's not. It's not the worst joke ever made, and also it's not the most inappropriate joke ever made.
Okay.
It's just a joke, you understand? Yeah,
because Wakenya wame find offensive, and the funny thing with this Joey case is girls are always defending him. Like yes, girls are always defending him, and they've been, the argument it's about looks. So niambia, nijua looks?
I don't know.
Okay.
Because wacha niongee from my perspective.
Yeah.
I think he's guilty and he's been found guilty and justice has been served. And vile tuliongea kwa the last pod I was on, I still want to know why.
Kwani alifanya?
Yeah. But for the girls fangirling, ni twisted. Number one, kuna looks, which it lays in the eyes of the beholder. Kuna looks, and then number two, kuna kwanga na hii theory, and I thought it was just in the US where like Jeffrey, you know, like his
Jeffrey Dahmer.
Yeah. You know the way women like worshipped that dude and thought he was cute and blah blah blah. And in my head I'm like, why?
Okay. So Jeffrey Dahmer alikuwa na anachukuliwa as some cute dude.
Yeah.
Okay.
And also, like, if you watch the TV series like You, yeah, and that dude is like some twisted dude, is a murderer and all that. But sisi tuko hapo, we are like, yes. What's his name? The actor, I've forgotten his name.
Okay. I don't know, but yeah, I understand.
So maybe it could be that. I don't know in the case of Joey, to be honest. I don't see it. But yeah, so it could be looks, number one. Number two, it's just the twisted minds of some women who find quote unquote bad boys to be attractive. You understand? I don't know if he's a bad boy anymore because
but men are also defending him. Like mi nimecheka sana because of course to some degree I'm a rabble rouser, and I know you hate uchukia hivo, but mo enjoy sometimes when I find people with thin skin, I enjoy it because Mamito making a joke about Joey should not be something that riles you up. It's non-consequential. So
exactly,
if you get offended to a certain level, ilonaniambia vile, oh Africa, you're an ass licker, and this is why Kibe said this and that about you, I'm going to enjoy just engaging you, and just like if you make a spelling mistake, I'll correct you, and if you do
really,
that,
I think you're wasting your time because hear me out. You're arguing with a person who, in my opinion, their thinking capacity is not there.
Yeah.
So mse mwenye ana defend a murderer, this person killed someone in cold blood, yeah, and you're there saying, oh, what about his feelings? So you're worried about hurting his feelings when he offed someone, like
from upper to upper.
Yes.
Like alipitisha hiyo nini. So
and this person who is so cold that he actually shot himself.
And also tried to frame some innocent dude.
Yeah, and tried to frame some innocent person. If this person who's there defending Joey, if by any chance they were the ones framed, and by bad luck or they were not able to prove beyond reasonable doubt that it's not them, it would be you in jail. It would be that innocent person in jail, and you're there defending this man. Cause why?
Saizi kwanza inawacha nichukue hiyo opportunity kuambia wasejo kwa unajua Dominic Harun. I'd really want to interview that guy. Dominic Harun is the guy who was nearly framed for that murder, and I'd want to interview him because he's also lucky. Like, you know, like the lucky. Kenya police did their job. If they didn't do their job,
he's lucky.
Alafu pia yuko lucky that alireport ID imepotea, because that's another thing we take for granted. Every time ID yako imepotea, mtu anaga haraka imepotea. But saizi kunafaa kuwa na the Joey effect. ID kipotea una cross barabara ukiingia kwa police station.
There's this video I was watching kama kawaida kwa TikTok. And I saw a comment. Someone said, you usually think Kenyan police don't do their jobs. Until it comes to a case like this. You know, we always think they're useless. Because tumezoea our traffic wakupewa 50 bob and then story imeishi hapo. But you understand, the Kenyan police see traffic police peke yake. Kuna different whatever. And it's a good thing for this dude. It's lucky, I'll say.
Yeah, he's lucky.
It's very lucky that he's able to prove that, you know. But I wouldn't engage. And I know I'm going to get some flack on it. I wouldn't engage with such people.
Okay, wacha tutoke hapo tubongejea inappropriate jokes, because personally there's a lot of jokes that I find super funny that people don't find funny. There are even jokes I make that you don't find funny, but to me they are hilarious.
Yeah, I know the one joke. It was not funny.
Yes, and that joke was hilarious.
It was not funny.
But we'll never get to it.
To move on.
Yeah. So ni which funny jokes have you had that were inappropriate, but it's super funny?
So there's two.
Because for the record, do you think Mamito, what a try a joke? Do you think she's hilarious? Do you think she's
Mamito
a funny comedian?
Mamito is one of the funniest chicks I know.
Okay.
She's ridiculously funny.
So now let's talk about inappropriate jokes. Like jokes
my favorite, which we died laughing, the two of us, is stop. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Please stop.
Bilba.
Oh yeah, Bilba.
Yeah.
And for the guys who don't know, it's Bilba was talking about in the height of Me Too, right?
Yeah.
And he was talking about being the guy who is in court, and the court...
lazima upatiane the premise. Alikuwa anasema
wait, now...
No means no. That's the main story.
Yeah, the story is no means no.
Yeah.
But now the person is in court. He's trying to defend himself. But the person reading the statements, what are they called? Court what?
Yeah, the court Nini. So I think unashinda ukiskipi step one.
No, I'll get back to it.
No means no. Lazima wambia say Bilbao was trying to explain that no does not always mean no.
No, I'm getting to it.
Okay.
You're jumping to the punchline before people hear the joke.
Okay.
You see why I usually say sometimes you're slow with jokes.
Okay. It's
so this
bad storyteller. But,
this court record person was reading the whatever court records
transcript.
And the transcript, and this dude it's a man reading the transcript, and he's told to read from the whatever, and he starts saying please no stop no, but Bilba is saying when he was in the room with the girl, that's not how it was said. It's the exact same words, but the girl was like, oh, stop. No. Come on, you're so naughty. And this transcript person is like, you are so naughty. You are so bad. That joke was ridiculously funny to me.
It was funny.
Yeah.
Another inappropriate one, ilemu find ikiwa super hilarious, ni joke ya Mark Normand. I don't know if his name is pronounced that way. So it's this comedian who was talking about how abortion was banned in the US. So anasema, hey, abortion imekuwa banned in the US. And it's the Roe versus Wade thing. So imekuwa banned. Lakini msijali, like, there's still school shootings, we'll still get them. And you see, it's a dark joke, but it's funny. But if you want to get offended, of course you're going to get offended. Na feel, according to me, the reason why Kenyan comedy has been the way it is for a very long time,
because it's always we celebrate you.
Yeah, there are no offensive jokes. And that's why now watu wakipataga nikisifu the likes of akina Dagmtai, Chinese, Kisiangani, of course best yangu Rapture.
They need to come back.
Nikisifu such comedians is because these comedians are now bringing you jokes that you might not like. And who hangs out with them? Of course pia mamito na hang out now. So if you don't find it funny, it's sawa. Lakini usifanye ati tusicheke, jue mwenye ujai find funny.
Yeah, another... when you spoke about abortion, I remembered a video I watched. It's not a comedian, it's just some random person on TikTok who... People have dark humor in the streets, yani. So they were talking about how their dad just passed away 2 weeks ago, and she felt so bad about the dad being alone in heaven, so she sent him a grandson. Do you get it?
Oh, okay. That's dark. But
No.
it's good.
It makes me so happy.
Yeah. It's a good one. It's a good one. Yeah. So, inappropriate jokes will always be there. People won't love them.
Yeah.
Then pia kuna zile waga inappropriate in a way that right now they can't be made, but by the time they were made, they were super funny. Like another dude who had a lot of inappropriate jokes, he utafurahia ni Jim Jeffries. Remember Jim Jeffries? He had this joke about how women push all the responsibility to men.
Is it Jim Jeffries?
Yeah, Jim Jeffries. Like if a girl has a bad sex encounter with a dude, she's going in to blame the dude for everything. So she'll be like, oh, he didn't make me wet. And he's like, that was your responsibility.
I did my part.
Yeah, I did my part and whatever. But even with that...
You see, so for example, that's a very good example because you found it super funny.
Yeah.
Mine was not so funny, haha. It's just those of... You understand? It's not so funny that I would cry my eyes out laughing. But I don't think it's inappropriate.
Okay.
I wouldn't...
Funny enough, there's one comedian I found super funny and you never found funny. Ilikuwa udem anaitwa Dominic. I remember you siku nilikuwa nacheka mpaka machozi natoka afu na kuangalia na ukiwa hivi, and I was so pissed like how. So kwa watu wajui Dominic alikuwa amemake a certain joke about having a suicidal cousin. Even every time I think about that joke, it just gets funny. So he has a suicidal cousin who's always threatening to commit suicide. So ati kuna hii siku yuko kwa room yake afu kazini yake anakuja yuko like ataka kujump through this window and she's like, no, I'm going to be arrested for killing you. Like how inconsiderate are you? Just go to another room and jump. Lakini si jump kutoka kwa hii room. I found that shit to be super funny, but kuna watu kwa like, how are you joking about suicidal people? Nini. Every time I think about that joke, I laugh. Yani anitangwa Dominic nani? I remember that
another
joke.
One, as you're looking for that girl, is TikTok as well. It really trended, I think last week, but one on Kenyan TikTok.
Yeah.
This girl was like, just it didn't have any words. It's just alikuwa make a caption. Yeah, yeye as a 7-year-old akiwa amezuba, she's just staring into space. Yeah, and she's saying she didn't understand why people were beating up her uncle when she was 7 years old after they found him to be really sad and they were beating her up. Kumbe in some Kenyan cultures, if they find you trying to commit suicide, they'll beat you up.
Yeah.
How messed up is that?
Ujakani inakuwaga hivo.
So mtu yuko so sad and depressed, lafu nyi mnamtandika mko serious.
Ujakani, I think you are beaten if you actually get out, like if you actually commit suicide.
So that's beating a corpse. But you see, this one, it's someone who has not passed away. Yeah.
So your stand-up comedy ya nani? Ya Dominic inaitwa Stop Me When I'm Lying. I love that.
Yeah, I remember it.
I laughed. Yani sijaichekaga hivyo. Alafu na kuangalia na unakuwa unmoved. Hiyo time mimi nimeisha mpaka siwezi breathe. Like that joke.
You see that day,
suicide, and just having this suicidal nini was like one of the funniest jokes nishaiona.
That day we had watched 3 stand-up comedies.
Yeah.
And it was the weakest to me.
Okay, to you. Because to me it was that day, I think it was the funniest. Kwangu. I don't know what else we'd watched. What else tulikuwa
tumewatch Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
Another person who I don't remember who the second one was. But to me the girl was just nah.
Okay. Yeah, but me, I found out to be super hilarious. And because there are those classic jokes that people don't get, zile mupata hata nini, like a few days ago I shared a certain joke kwa reels zangu, no, stories, Insta stories. Ilikuwa ile joke, I remember the joke where Hugh Jackman had 2 testicles.
Yeah.
And there's something that he does where
he scratches and sniffs.
Yeah. That's a classic joke, because every man has done that shit but will never admit. And me, the first time, because I thought kitambo nilikuwa nafikiri niko weird, like I'm the only one who does this shit, till nione nani, this guy, there's this comedian, Corey Holcomb. You know him?
No.
You don't find him funny, but he's a super funny guy.
I don't know him.
Corey Holcomb, namjua. It's this black guy who, he has what sort of jokes? The one who says that he never even takes care of his kids. That once in a while he'll go. The only time he goes to see his kids is when he wants to screw the baby mama.
Oh, so yeah, I don't find him funny.
Yeah, so he'll go there and find his son. I thought and dance. Yeah. And then he's like, I don't know you, nigga. He goes, screws the wife, and then comes out and dance. Same dance with the son. Yeah. Then leaves. I find him to be super hilarious. So that dude, kwa Black Jesus, there's a scene where...
Yeah, I remember you laughed for hours.
Yes.
So you laughed for hours at that scene.
So kwa watu wajaichiki hiyo scene inakuanga like Black Jesus yuko mbele, Corey Holcomb yuko huko nyuma. Then unachiki like he puts his hand kwa nini zake, scratches them, then anatoa them. That shit killed me. I was
you laughed for hours.
That shit was too good.
Like we had all moved on and you're just there giggling to yourself.
Yes, that was a funny joke. So yeah. So alafu naweza sema like I'm of course I'm a comedy fan, so a lot of things that people might find not funny, I find to be super funny.
But one thing that a lot of comics and artists say is comedy is offensive.
Yeah.
It's very offensive. If you don't offend anyone, I don't think it's comedy. Yeah, because there's some comedy that will
be a part of the joke.
Yeah, will really offend men, and some will offend women, and you understand, like there are those the especially in America, people go to a stand-up show and this person is telling a joke about, let's say, black people or whatever, and there'll be a white woman in the audience say, I found that so offensive. Like someone will always get offensive on behalf of someone else. When you get offended on behalf of someone else.
Sio some kuwa offended on behalf of Joy's family.
Yes,
you're offended
exactly.
By nani?
Na hamkukuwa offended on behalf of the
Monica's family.
On Monica's family when she was brutally murdered. No one was offended. That's okay.
You lazima you choke. You have to choke on blood.
Yes.
It's a slow death.
It's a slow death, number one. There's the pain of your throat being slit open. Yes.
Then you can't
breathe. Number two, you start drowning in your own blood because you cannot breathe in. So your own blood is drowning you. How painful is that? But you guys are just offended by a stupid... come on.
Watu wako, what about his family? Like... mi buda alikuwa jela for some time. No one was there thinking about my family. Like, I've told the story on the podcast vile nilienda kuwa na buda Sotik, and I remember this askari jela saying, con man, kuna watu wamekuja kukuona, because my dad had been caught on some shit, and that shit stayed with me. This is like over 30 years later. I still remember it. And for that cop ama askari jela, I'm sure he forgot about it.
Yeah.
See, so that's the reality of life. Feelings zako hazimaanishi kitu yote. That time nilikuwa 12 years old, so you can try and imagine this guy didn't care about my feelings. So am I supposed to care about the feelings of an adult? Because people will always come up with this bullshit, yeah, what if he's innocent? What if he's innocent? Kwa nini uchukue idea Dominic Harun? Like, no one even wants to know. Last thing nenda kusema jo, Dominic Harun jo, mtu yote anaweza niconnect na yeye, nitabaki nimefurahi sana. But kwa inappropriate jokes, I think Kenya needs more inappropriate jokes. And nafurahia sana vile nimesema, you need to go out there, check out Taingashira, check out Dag Mutai, check out Chinese, check out Justin Wanda, check out Shiko Waidaka. These are comedians who might make kiss yangani.
Wait, there's another one. Ule mwenye alikuchongoa kwa stand up.
Oh, Bashir Halaiki.
Yes.
Yeah, like these are funny people. And of course, check out Raya Isiyo Kawaida, the dude of Nare. There's always going to be something that offends you. But vile susemaga, ukiwa offended sana unaishia place inaitwa Kajitambe, alafu unabaki umetungoja hapo tutakuja kuongea na wewe. Tukitoka hapo, umesikia the US Congress wamepitisha bill ya kubani your favorite app, eh?
Which TikTok?
Yes.
But imekuwa ikipitishwa for
wamepatiana 6 months. So in these 6 months, apparently, if the Chinese owners don't sell it, then they might have a problem. But sasa, I think imebakisha tu step moja. If this is followed through, it might be the end of Nini kwa US app stores. Yes, it might be the end of TikTok kwa US app stores. But personally, vile nimekuwa nikifikiria hii kitu naona, according to me, it's bullish because I don't think the American whatever cares about its people. And we'll be talking about that Apple later.
Yeah.
Compared to EU. Because I always feel like EU takes more steps to protect people than.
Yeah.
So the fact that EU ban TikTok, then TikTok is not that bad.
And I feel like the beef that they have with TikTok is not on the app itself, but just because it's not theirs. That's what I feel.
Yeah.
I might be terribly wrong. Lakini, if you remember the questioning, when they were questioning the CEO, and they kept asking him, are you from China? Are you affiliated with China? They almost asked him if, if he has ever watched a Chinese movie. It was so dumb. I feel like it's so personal that it's not about being TikTok or being about privacy and whatever. It's just about it being not a Western app.
Yeah. So the story in the House passes bill that could ban TikTok in the US, sending it to the Senate. Sindio? So House Democrats and Republicans say the legislation which would pressure TikTok's China-based owner to divest is needed to protect Americans' data. Senators are still evaluating it. So the House voted on Wednesday to pass legislation that could ban TikTok in the US, as Republicans and Democrats alike sound the alarm that the popular video sharing app owned by a China-based company is a national security threat. So the vote was 352 to 65. Alafu anasema Communist China is America's largest geopolitical foe and is using technology to undermine America's economy and security. So so they've said...
yeah, it's like... we are going back to what we learned in history and social studies when we were in school. About, you remember there was the conquest to get to the moon at that time, yeah? And the countries that were trying to be superpowers at that time were trying to, be the first ones to get to the moon. And now everything is about technology. Like, for you to show you are a big boy, you're playing in the big leagues, it's all about technology. So if you feel like there's a country that's coming up and trying to take you off, quote unquote, as a superpower, so you'll try to
fight.
Yeah, you'll fight it.
But sakitu funny ni, of course, there are, the few people who actually make real money from TikTok are Americans, eh?
Yeah.
Like Americans make a lot of money, so Americans wale wana make dough from hapo wamekuwa wakitokea. Cause hata kuna there is this like skincare company inaitwa Love and Pebble. Walikuwa ta pro TikTok rally outside Capitol Hill on ni Capitol Hill ama ni Capitol whatever on Tuesday. Alafu kuna like the owner was saying if you pass this bill you will be literally destroying the American dream. Asema their business exploded when TikTok came, and now 90% of their business comes from TikTok.
And I noticed that Juicy when I was in Europe, our TikTok in Africa is so different, man. Na vile naipenda na roho yangu yote. It's so different because you usually hear about TikTok shop. But when you're using TikTok here in Africa, you'll never see that TikTok shop. Another thing is the TikTok ads and the ad placements on TikTok. We just used to think eti ni kawaida videos wana create. No, kuna ads, kuna shops where people literally sell like services and goods worth millions. It's not like our TikTok by the it's not. So like I saw a product that, and then it shows you how many times it's been purchased. So for example, kama mi nauza let's say vibrators or whatever on my TikTok shop, it'll show how many times they've been bought.
Someone was like King Gideon's Bible, lazima useme kitu ya kishetani.
Si vibrator ina vibrate tu.
Okay, so tuendelee. I'm ashamed on your behalf.
Waendelea kuwa ashamed shauri yako. But so, then it shows if it's been bought by like 500,000 people, it shows there right next to it. So you know it's a good product. So not just quizy, everything is driven by reviews, and how good a product is or how many times you sell it. It depends on your reviews. So you know if you're buying it's so awesome. I didn't know. Me I just thought ni easy kama hizi video zetu, unajua hizi video zetu za huku tunakuanga tukiuza mtumba like hii ni 150, like it's just a kawaida video but you're selling using TikTok. I thought it's the same thing.
Third world haikuagi fair. You know
it's
that?
Not fair. It's not fair.
World, like
because I'm thinking about like all the services and products that could be sold on TikTok. Hapa. There's so many talented artists. That's number one. Number two, vitu za made in Kenya are so cool. Like, I don't think you understand. Ata nguo, like, ata bags, easy ma leather bags zenye zimetengenezwa huku Kenya. Kina joka joki, kina whatever. They are so cool. If you open that up to the world, can you imagine how much money these people would be making?
Yeah, iko again. Because hata nishateta hapa juu ya the way Spotify has not monetized podcast in Africa. And you see, EU would never allow that. And this is now the difference between EU and AU. African Union is useless. And African Union will stay useless even if someone like Raila ends up being chairman. Still going to be useless because African presidents are more focused on keeping power. They never care about EU. On the other side, like even the reason why saizi kuna USB-C
it's
because of EU.
them.
Saizi tafikiria, like when you think about buying an iPhone right now, even if as a content creator, you know you don't need to buy 1 TB because unajua iko na USB-C, so I can just buy an external hard disk and just attach directly. I can even buy Thunderbolt 2 TB for example is 200 Thunderbolt 2 TB unaweza pata $250, si ndio? And umenunua, let's say umebuy phone ya 128 an iPhone 16 Pro Max, si ndio? Ama size I think they're going to have to do Pro ni Ultra, itakuwa Ultra. Umeinunua, then you just buy this Thunderbolt and you're set. You can now just shoot your content and it goes to this very hard disk very fast and you live. And this is because of the EU. Because even the next thing ile nataka tubonge juu yake because history ya TikTok, you have anything to add on that? Because of course I'll miss TikTok because I love the fact that there are IKONINI videos, like total views zetu za TikTok are ridiculous. Like a few of our things really go viral on TikTok, but we don't make any money from TikTok. But I'm going to miss it because of that. Zizi, but I'm not going to miss it because in Africa it stays. But now I'm going to miss it because Afrobeat won't be as big in America
But it,
as it is right now, because Afrobeat has been helped by TikTok.
yeah.
Kina Burna Boy kujaza hizo ma stadiums and what, it's TikTok has like made Americans start thinking that Africa is cool and Afrobeat is cool. So that would be sad.
Because I've also like discovered like really good music from TikTok. I have to shout out Wajine. Do you know that dude? Sings Kikuyu songs. He has the voice of an angel. Oh my God, that dude can sing. And also, apart from that, my dark humor, and I get all my news from TikTok. Everything I get it from TikTok, kina news daddy, kina whatever. So I don't know. So what would be the alternative for them?
I don't know. Wamesema ikiuzwa in 6 months time, they are okay with that.
But they want it to be bought in the US.
Yeah, I think they want it to be bought in the US.
If some trillionaire, yani tuseme tu kwa mfano, msinimeze nyie, niseme mi nina hela zangu mahali nimeweka as a Kenyan and I buy
you can buy it as long as it's not a Chinese company, because you know China, everything is attached to the government. Ile time nani Mao anaitwa Mao, not Mao, this other dude who Alibaba vile alitry kuongea, aliquestion to gava hivi na kadisappear. Ati Mao nimemita Alibaba, ona alikuwa Jack Ma. Unakumbuka vile alibaki ameshangaa. So I think with that in mind, that's the reason why like wanataka iuzwe.
And sometimes like I realized ukiweka kwa search bar ya TikTok and you search literally anything on this world, as long as it's not nudity and whatever, you search anything, you'll find a video. Someone sat down and researched and made a video about it. And it's, to me, it's just awesome. Because sometimes you won't get all, like in a bite-size video, you won't get it on YouTube. You'll find your Google uncles, welcome to my YouTube channel. There's those ones which they take like even 20 minutes to talk about a point that could have taken 30 seconds. You understand? So, I don't know.
Okay. Because tukitoka hapo, I think the next thing wataka tubonge juu of course ni EU versus US. Na tukiongea juu EU versus US, tunaongea juu planes, aeroplanes. So there are two major aeroplane companies. There's Boeing in America, and then there is Airbus. Airbus is German/French company, and they make aeroplanes. And so far watu wamekuwa kiteta juu ya Boeing. Like Boeing are not taking enough safety precautions, and that's why like the last two major plane crashes were both Boeing. And this is why I said that I think we want to kwambia off air that this is a story that's not going to make my friend happy, because I have this friend of mine anaitwa Muguche anakuaga like 100% American, and kaa kuna mtu teteaga states ni Muguche jo. So Muguche, sijui kwa utafurahia kusikia
wanakuja home a lot.
Wacha nimalize tu statement Muguche, sijui kwa utafurahia jo, like Boeing, an American company, is doing so badly and risking people's lives mpaka imefika level saizi watu wanafikiria tu kutumia Airbus, sindio? Waga na travel na kucha Kenya, but I'm thinking American companies mostly use American products. America is just America, so you find the other countries are the ones that use Airbus. And
but if he comes home a lot, then there's the scary part of the side. We know that flying is one of the safest ways to get around. But then if you know that a company is actively ignoring safety precautions and you use that often, it's super scary, man. It's so scary.
Because hata saizi na search hapa kwa USA Today ni FAA finds multiple quality control issues in 6-week audit of Boeing. A 6-week federal administration audit of Boeing and subcontractor Spirit Aerosystems found multiple instances where the company allegedly failed to comply with manufacturing quality control requirements.
But what did we learn? The same employees from Boeing are the same people in the FAA.
Yeah.
So that is makes it even double scary. That ati mi ndio natengeneza whatever, and I'm the same person who's also doing checks and balances.
Yeah. America kuna time ingine inakuwaga na vitu zingine that are so African that you wonder like how.
Yes. And considering I when I learned that yesterday, I didn't think it was something that would happen in the US. I honestly did not think. In a major industry like Nini
States.
Not states, but the transport industry.
Yeah.
And then you decide to cut corners like you're somewhere working in a whatever Kenyan county government. Come on.
So yani ukitaka kujua alafu if
You've
you
not
think
told people what the story is about. We're just here.
Okay.
Yeah.
So kumekuwa na hizo safety issues za Boeing where like a lot of stuff has happened kwa Boeing planes that should not happen. So there was the crash in Indonesia. The first crash ilikuwa Indonesia.
Missing plane. Yeah, the missing flight.
Kulikuwa na hiyo. Si Malaysia. Not the Malaysian one.
Yeah.
The Malaysian one was shot in Ukraine. But kulikuwa na Indonesia that crashed. And then straight after Indonesia kulikuwa na Ethiopia Airlines. Yes? That a lot of Kenyans died in.
Yes.
Both of those planes were Boeing.
Yes.
Sindio?
Yes.
Alafu of course cause hiyo time Boeing walikuwa they jumped some safety steps.
Yes.
Cause they remixed a plane where wakaeka like ilikuwa ni 787 I think one of those planes zao.
Yes.
Wakamove wing alafu they tried to use software to correct that and they didn't tell the pilots.
Yes.
So watu wakaenda po kidedi.
So
US had to ground them.
So to add to what you've said, I will find out the name of the software they're talking about.
Yeah.
So
ilikuwa inaitwa MCAS.
Yes, MCAS. Yeah.
MCAS, yes.
So when the MCAS was put on the plane, number one, they never told the pilots.
Yes.
And then number two, even in the manual itself, they never described it. They only put it on the index, yeah? Number three, that thing could be triggered by a fucking balloon.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about a hot air balloon. I'm just talking about a helium balloon that someone was celebrating their birthday and then it got away. Could trigger that thing and all of you motherfuckers are dead.
Yes. So now it gets more horrifying, yeah? Kama uko States na una plan kukuja Kenya tafadhali. It's time to start checking. Like I'd want to know. Saizi itafika level tunapigia nini Kenya Airways kujua which plane you are flying with.
No, you can check. When you're booking, you can check.
So, skiza, yesterday. Yesterday. Ngoja. On Monday, New Zealand officials said that they will seize the cockpit voice recorder and data record of a LATAM Airlines Boeing 787 after a horror flight incident that left more than 50 people injured.
What happened?
The airline and passengers aboard the Sydney-Auckland flight on Monday said that the plane with 263 passengers and 9 crew members dropped abruptly mid-air. Patiana story yako.
Oh, what the hell?
So and this goes out to nasema like hii segment enda ku shout out Muguche, because Muguche is my boy. You know how much he supports me.
I know.
And
but you see,
he loves America so much that I don't know if this time atajua like sometimes America fucks up. Because when it comes to medicine, America really fucks up.
Yes.
So, you know, with all these drugs that are
opioids and everything, yeah,
can never be approved na EU.
Yes.
Planes the same. So ime happen jana, but wewe
nakunga
last week ukinipatia story.
When did I travel? Last week on Monday.
Yes.
So last week on Monday, what I was connecting from Nairobi to Addis, then Addis to whatever. So your flight ya kutoka hapa hadi Addis, I remember I told you we just dropped and you thought I was kidding.
Yeah.
Or you thought I was just making shit up to be dramatic. Mwafu were flying, and when we got to Addis, like we were not there yet, but I think we were about let's say 45 minutes to Addis. And umezoea turbulent nini mmetingika nini it's usual, and turbulent was bad, but we were fine. No one was, it was kawaida too. And then at some point the plane dropped mwaf. Si unajua vile inaenda hivi, like see, usually you go like this, it just went
If
no, not nose down.
Evie.
Yes, Evie.
Oh, so it'll drop Evie.
Yes, Evo. And I remember people started praying, people started screaming. And the funny thing is, for me, you know, it's fight or flight or pray to your God, whoever you worship.
Yeah.
I remember, like, I could not breathe. I was so scared. There's air around me. I'm not choking on anything. I'm actively trying to breathe in.
Yeah.
And I cannot do it. Because it was the most terrifying experience of my life. Alafu nakumbuka, the last major accident I saw was Ethiopian Airlines. And where am I? In an Ethiopian airline plane. And then it just dropped. Whoop. This pilot said nothing. Unajua hata zile za
Johnny Boeing alisema tu
ladies
zile
and
za
gentlemen,
Boeing.
and nothing. And people are there, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And I remember getting out of that flight and texting you, and because I was not sitting in the same seat as my colleague. When we got there, he told me, you know, I just started saying goodbye to my children. It was that bad. It happened for such a short period of time. I don't think it was even 2 seconds. It was not long, it was not long, but it was so scary. And then it happened yesterday.
Yeah, it may happen on Monday.
Because you see the way
in New Zealand, of course. So now umeniambia mtu anaweza check flight. So I want you to do that experiment as we continue.
Yeah.
Can you check like the flight from Kenya to New York? What plane does KQ use? Because
which
at
day?
At this
you know they use different flights.
Sawa, just try and check. Mi nataka kuishia States June. Awezi jua ile watatumia June, si ndio? That's why angalia hii wiki flights za New York wanatumia gani, afu tuangalia next week. Because kudanganyi, I'd rather spend 30 hours than use
going
Boeing.
around using.
Because Boeing siko ubaya. Alafu ino kitu nikatiaga na States, it's like you can't have this country that has so much excellence. Like you had the like easy stories zote za Boeing zilikam when the merger happened. So Boeing, the guy whose name is being used, believed in quality, sindio?
Yeah.
And then you have, he had even a saying, that Boeing quote was what? The saying he used to have ya safety. And then on the other side you have this Nini? McDouglas.
McDonnell.
McDouglas, I think.
No.
They don't care about anything. And they are the ones that wameleta history yote. Ni McDonnell. McDonnell Douglas. We were both right. So ni McDonnell Douglas. Wali merge in 1997, and since then Boeing has just become this very useless company. So let me check. Niko nataka kucheki hata nimepoteza my train of thought, but it's that scary. Like sasa niambie mtu anaweza jua like what are we using? I think
it's loading.
Game ya Arsenal ilinifanya, I don't know if I slept wrongly, like my shoulder is hurting, yani nimeanza kuzeeka sana.
So lazima useme Arsenal jumlishinda jana.
Tulishinda. So
no, I was saying because when I told you about that incident on the Ethiopian one, I thought labda I'm exaggerating. No, I thought maybe it's all in my head. And maybe guys were just scared. Maybe it was bad turbulence. That's turbulence. That is what I was telling myself. And then what the hell? Yeah. Yet it was so brief. It was very brief. But I remember I told you immediately I got out of that flight. Hey, ebu niangalia ingine.
So kwa hii time unatafuta hiyo story naweza kuambia like what people say ile kitu tu yako the plane unannounced just dropped. I mean it dropped unlike anything I've ever experienced on any kind of minor turbulence, and people were thrown people were thrown out of their seats, hit the roof of the plane,
Yes.
throwing down aisles.
Yes.
Passenger Brian Jokat told the BBC, my neighbor who was in the seat 2 over me, there was a gap in between us, and as soon as I looked up and he was on the ceiling and I thought I was dreaming. Achiki. So Boeing has become such a useless Nini company, and it was I was trying to look for the Boeing quote, like now the original guy.
Yeah.
He
Then
had this
Nairobi to JKF is Boeing 787.
Okay.
And then Nairobi to London, Boeing 787. Then London to JFK is Boeing 777.
Oh shit.
Yeah, they're both Boeings. But as we said, because yesterday we were talking about this, is a lot of African countries will still stick to Boeing.
Yes, because of corruption.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because niko sure in Europe saizi, just check any random European flights like KLM. Sikuzi hakuna KLM to Kenya.
I think iko, I don't know.
Kusi KLM zilikuwa zina exchange na nini na UG. Because now another thing would be to get a flight Nairobi to Amsterdam, then Amsterdam to the US. Was that cheeky? Like
so. Yeah.
Yeah. So I want to see Boeing quote on safety. What did he say? Like the original Boeing had said something about this. Alafu umesikia juu ya nini? There is the whistleblower who died, eh?
Yeah. The Boeing one.
Yeah, the Boeing one. But I feel like even if you like kill this one guy, it's already out there.
Yeah, because also last week tonight made it even more famous. Yeah. And now even the kawaida mwananchi like me knows about it.
Yeah. So the Boeing whistleblower, so kwa USA Today wanasema Boeing whistleblower found dead years after speaking out about safety concerns. So msemo mwenyewe alikuwa found dead in his car over the weekend in Charleston, South Carolina. His name was John Burnett, and alikuwa 62 years old. Alikuwa a quality manager who worked with Boeing for over 30 years. So kila mtu alikuwa na so kali work na Boeing for over 30 years na akaretire in 2017. That means he joined Boeing in 1987. And in 1987 Boeing haiko merge na McDonnell Douglas.
Yeah.
So that time it was good. Then from 1997 it's been downhill. And all they care about is profits.
Yeah.
And
there's this funny TikTok that I watch, yeah? And it actually applies to them. There's this dude who just makes jokes about why he cannot live his life because he's living for the stakeholders. Everything he does is, the stakeholders are waiting for this. You have to increase your margins for the stakeholders. You have to get profit for the stakeholders. And that joke is literally what is happening with Boeing, because they don't care about the quality of their planes anymore. It's just about the stock market, how much they're selling, what the stakeholders are getting, which is so sad. And also for the dude the whistleblower who passed away, maybe he did not take his own life. There's a chance he was killed. But how many people are they going to kill? Now the story is out. Wataua kila mtu. And as I was saying yesterday, is I don't think the CEO of such an important company should be a business graduate. I think they should have a physics major or something like that. Yeah. It should be about the science behind it, so that they understand exactly what they're doing, and it's not about stakeholders. Come on.
Alafu nini hii story ya MH370 ya Malaysia. Which plane was it?
Was it a Boeing?
And now a Boeing expert is claiming that it was a mass murder suicide.
Nah.
I think
We know now. We know.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
the most recent one that happened in the US is the Boeing that lost its door. When it had just taken off, and you come to realize that the reason why the door was lost is because of
the bolts.
some bolts were not there, or some
And they were
bolts
like,
were not
"It's okay."
tight enough. And they were like, whatever. And then what airline was it? Do you remember? Alaska or something?
Yeah, I tried to check it.
And then these guys decided to check to check all their flights, the ones that they had purchased recently, because it was a new flight, it was a new craft.
Yeah.
It was not even 2 months old. You know that, right?
Yeah, okay.
It was not 2 months old. It was new.
Mm.
And then they decided to go and check it and check all the other whatever. And they found that some of them were missing bolts on their doors. What the hell?
So ilikuwa Alaska Airlines.
Yeah.
This happened in January.
Yes.
And the defective door on Alaska Airlines plane that forced an emergency landing as a door-sized hole opened up in the mid-air. And this is one of the reasons why mi nikiwa kwa ndege ndavutwa tu inje, because I rarely leave my seat and I'm always buckled up even for a 45-minute flight. Sasa kwanza ikiwa Boeing jo unafaa tu kuwa pava to just kojoa ukiwa kwa kiti yako kwa umestrap, because now how is supposed to, like, this is so bad, this is risky, this is I don't even know what to think.
It's so scary to think about it. But I hope that now this has been brought to light, and they're going to get some consequences coming from Europe. Because you see, a lot of airlines will not be buying planes from them. I think they'll work on it.
Because inasemekana like in the past, in Feb, Airbus delivered 49 planes, but Boeing delivered 28 peke yake. So watu wakianza kulenga, but so Africa on the other hand, we are so corrupt that I won't be surprised that if Kenya Airways is to start ordering planes right now, they are going to order Boeing. Because
also they are cheaper, you know that, right?
But now, how cheap are they if they are going to crash in the ocean? So ziko cheap aje?
They're cheaper, and this new CEO started by making the flights more fuel efficient, quote unquote fuel efficient. So if you can save a few bucks here,
alafu sasa hii kitu ya Alaska ilikuwa ni Alaska Airlines remove 18 planes from service
18
skiza until possible additional maintenance work are confirmed with the FAA. And the FAA on the other side has Boeing employees. So this is a joke. Kuna za zingine states uchoma, like inachomaga kabisa ilo nashindwa.
But it's not about, honestly it's not a matter of just US or whatever, because their whole world uses those planes.
But they are made in America. So we have to talk about America, because in ile shit, remember like what I was talking about, where like I see some drugs being advertised on akina Hulu, and I'm 100% e-drug haizi kuwa legal in Europe. Akina Nexplanon, remember?
I told you there's a woman suing Nexplanon, right?
Oh, okay.
Remember the joke you used to make? It actually happened to her.
Maybe I had my dark joke.
No.
Hautaki kusema?
No. I think you'll tell them. But what I was thinking right now, before I lose my train of thought, what's the equivalent of FAA in Kenya?
Hatuna ni KAA. You see, FAA ni Federal Aviation Authority. Sisi ni Kenya Airports Authority. So our Kenya Airports Authority
and aviation different kidogo.
So I don't think we have like that.
So who inspects the whatever's before they come here?
The planes. We have to take FAA's word, and we have to take, that's why taking Airbus's word is is more nini because we are dealing with German technology and the EU, and the EU does not fuck around. Nacheki. So ile kitu niko nasema like EU wametufanyia nini, like I'm looking forward to when I can afford it, because I don't know if I'll be able, but I'm looking forward to iPhone 16. Why?
Yay, you're buying me a phone.
Skiza cause na plan kutumia hiyo
Ambia
like
watu you're buying me a phone.
na plan kutumia Thunderbolt mi nakulenga so na plan kutumia Thunderbolt and a reason is hiyo ni juu ya EU ndo ilisema hii ni ujinga, we can't keep using different cables for different things. Wako like you're stifling innovation. And then do you know as soon as EU did that do you know they're still stifling speeds za like even their nini their iPhone 15 data transfer, it's slow. It's not at the speed of like if you are transferring from a Samsung phone to a hard disk, it's going to take shorter than any. So that's why even with that you'd rather connect your Thunderbolt yako iko ikirecord direct to the Thunderbolt instead of you transferring. Yes. So that's hizo ni ujinga za iPhone. Now you see iPhone is also an American company, so states America is America, you know, you get the best and you get the worst. But still one thing you are sure of ikikam to iPhone is quality. And I'd rather have a defective iPhone than be on a defective plane. You see, like if I was given choice.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Because then, you know, iPhone, they really like to... Quality is everything.
Yeah.
Because what they sell to us is not the phone. It's the quality. That's what they sell.
Yeah.
Even when you watch those... Nini?
The reviews and what?
Not reviews. Hizo launch
The launch, yeah.
Yeah. They're not necessarily selling you the phone itself. They're selling you the quality.
Kama juzi nikikwambia like I need to buy a laptop and I decided like, you know what, let me it's high time now. I need to get this laptop. Yes. And I go there and then I started watching like a lot of Windows. I was like, maybe I'm too loyal to Apple, it's time to change from Apple to after a few minutes I was like, I'm going back to Apple, because you know, like for this to do this you'll need to kill a goat, then sacrifice 3 goats. And iPhone it's either nini, Apple it's either works ama doesn't work. Hakuna sijui lazima ufanye nini.
Do you think you're an Apple snob?
I think nishakuwa hivyo, and that's courtesy of my brother. So you remember like my bro is whatever.
Let me tell you guys a story. So Mwaf's brother came with a device, a square device, and brought it to our house, and it sat on the TV stand for years. It had the Apple logo, and it sat there for years before we found out it was an Apple TV. What year was this? 2016 or 2015?
When he started using it?
No, when he brought it was 2016, it was, right?
I think it was even before that.
Yeah, it was 2015, I think.
He wana bonga juu the latest one where now I knew what it's doing. Kulikuwa na ikale kingine
ile
kadogo.
Ingine, si ndo nasema hiyo.
Kwa 2013.
Shit.
Yeah. So he just stayed there. Because I remember akitumia, alafu akaniambia nimekuachia hii. Alafu
just sat there.
Yeah, people think I'm a tech.
We almost used it as a coaster.
Yes. People think I'm a tech nut. Like my brother is a tech nut to the next level. And now he's like an Apple disciple. Najua ile like yeye ni Apple damu. And eventually when you look at it, like after izima M1, M2, M3 chips, it's really hard to convince someone, especially like a content creator, kuchukua Windows. Because Windows utapata ile kona power, but now it uses more electricity. You see, like with especially after getting that key power station thing, like monitor plus computer, 30 watts. Like that's how efficient it is. So, but so Boeing wameniscare. Like wameniscare because saizi now every flight that I take, I'm going to be worried which plane. You know, like you normally just take a flight and you're like, it's okay.
Yeah.
Saizi ukisikia jo ni Boeing jo. Because sasa hii ni Boeing ya siku gani? You're just worried.
Especially if
it's a brand new one.
Because me, I'm in the air every month. And it's scary, man. And you see, a lot of the times I don't get a choice because I'm not the one booking the flights. Unakwanga tu umeambiwa you're going there, this is the flight. Ni scary. But also, I've come to realize with a lot of African airlines also, the way the airline is run and the way they take care of the planes is very different. In my opinion, Kenya Airways is better than
Ethiopia.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe not in how they handle our staff and flight delays and blah blah blah, but the comfort of sijawai anguka kutoka kwa sky. That was scary.
Alafu sasa nini mtu yuko saizi anataka kutravel to Kenya, unaweza check kayak if there's a way to nini, and can you like screen record yourself so that tuone like how someone would do it, because I saw that nowadays people are actually choosing flights.
I saw that
people are choosing planes, not just flights.
Let me check.
Well, I think that's the only way pia kufanya Boeing wakwe serious. Ni people just start now ignoring their flights.
Yes, when you're booking a flight you can ignore.
Cause hiyo ni scary. Natry kuimagine umenini juu kama watu wa New Zealand like 50 people were injured. Natry kuimagine hivyo. Alafu don't forget watu kama sisi like the last time tuko na we had like 2 kids. A kid can't survive hiyo kurushwa juu hivyo. Like it's
cause akivunjika spine amevunjika spine.
So nini sana ni it's just one of those things that's really scary. Ile unashindwa like what is supposed to happen. And so I think like it's high time tuanze hiyo kufikiria. Nasema like what am I going to be doing? I'm going to fly, and since na fly na Boeing inaenda kumisbehave, afadhali niende na nini ingine cause mi sasa says I don't know.
There's one thing that I think it was Larry Madowo who said it. Kitambo, a good marriage is like a landed flight.
Yes.
You never hear about them.
Okay.
You understand? There are so many flights that zina landingi safely. But we don't hear about them. You understand? Like you'll not hear, today the Kenya Airways, whatever. But this few that get this accidents is what
zinajua hii ya Boeing ni scary cause in January mlango ikatoka. In March tayari kuna hiyo plane imeinja watu in New Zealand, Australia. So what do you think is going to happen? This year there has to be like a Boeing flight that's going to go down, unaona, like at this rate, unless they do something about it.
Na ile yenye ilichomeka at the beginning of the year in Japan. Do you know which one it was?
Because I remember hii pia alikuwa nasema hata safety. Like kwa watu wajui kuna hii nini kama uko US na uko na HBO Max enda watch inaitwa Last Week Tonight. Kwa Last Week Tonight ya John Oliver kuna pali like Boeing employees were recorded talking about Boeing and they were asking each other, would you take this flight?
Al Jazeera. It was Al Jazeera who recorded it. So they went undercover and they were asking like Boeing engineers and employees if they'd ever fly in a Boeing. They all said no. All of them
moja
said no.
Alisema yes na ule alisema yes jua nini?
Akiwa na death wish.
He said he has a death wish, that's why he'd still use that plane. And it's so sad that this Boeing dude is literally like turning in his grave, like this is my company. My company has been turned into this bullshit where it's just about money and no one cares about safety, and it's so risky. So saizi pia inamaanisha jo ukienda States Greyhound ni Greyhound, because unajua sasa I think in States Greyhound it's safer than flight. Nachikile Kenya flight waga safer than road. States jo the Greyhound is safer. Because hiyo story ya Boeing imenishtua sana. Alafu on top of that niko hapa nauliza like which flights did you use, then you tell me one of them was a Boeing. And they're like, no.
Because I think they're the most
Yeah, common plane.
yes, common nimetafuta hiyo jina. They're the most common planes, so lazima tu utaitumia somewhere. Yeah.
But unajua ni riski sana kufikiria juu ya like hiyo nini, so umeshindwa kufigure out how to choose.
So hiyo filter kuna filter ya airlines na kuna filter ya aircraft, the aircraft itself. But haionyeshi ile filter yenye John Oliver alikuwa ameonyesha ya kina Airbus
okay. But I think ukiwa US iko sindio?
I think
so ukiwa States and you're taking that flight unaweza chagua like avoid Boeing as much as
you
possible.
can exclude all Boeing aircrafts on your booking if you're using kayak. Kuna kuanga na filters too at the top of the screen.
Hawezi Google haraka uone utaweza kunini, ama wakishata VPN uone kama maybe itatokea. But ni sad sana that imefika hiyo level. Of course kwa wengi wetu wale tunatumia Kenya Airways, we don't have otherwise. We'll just have to have that 14-hour flight.
Hatuna otherwise.
And just hope for the best and expect the worst. I don't know. I don't even know what to say about that. But it's sad that tukiwa watoi tuko nasikiaga hiyo jina Boeing, like we associated it with respect. Like this was this. And you see, we were kids.
I'd like to know right
as
now.
As adults, ni McDonnell Douglas.
It's not here. We'll research later. But I'd like to know right now.
Yeah.
If you had fuck your money.
Yeah.
And you're buying a private jet.
Wouldn't be a Boeing. And if it was a Boeing, I'd be worried now because I'd be thinking about selling it, you know.
But if it was a Boeing, can't you fix it? Because you know it's just stories and negligence.
Yes, now get like an Airbus engineer to check it. Okay, maybe. Yeah, but place to mefika hiyo level, that's what's pissing me off, that we've reached a level where now if you enter a plane you are worried about the manufacturer. You know, you were never worried about that. It was more about Nini. So
we were worried about airlines, not the aircraft itself. Like the manufacturer of the Nini of the aircraft.
But saa tumefika hiyo level. So as they say, we're living in a different world. So hiyo ndio story ina happen. So kawa una plan kufly anytime soon, safe flight. Literally sahi tunamaanisha safe flight. Tukisema tunamaanisha, si ile time ile kuna semaga tu safe flight na tumaanishi. Wa Amerika wameamua watufanyie vitu za ajabu. Like it's so sad. Hiyo story ya nini naifikiria, because the fact that plane yako ili drop, na nyinyi mko safe. Plane ika drop Australia na watu wako safe. Alafu another plane loses a door and all these are Boeing. Like hakuna hata moja. Then MH370 ya Malaysia niko na expect at least wacha ikue Airbus ndio tuseme. It's still a Boeing. Like everything is just Boeing. Alafu ati Boeing expert is there like it was a murder suicide. No,
it's not.
It was just a Boeing that just nini. Yeah.
Because I remember another people would say, oh, this is such an inappropriate joke. Is when that expert said it was a murder suicide. There was someone who was saying nowadays when they get into a flight, they have to talk to the pilot and they ask them about their plans for tomorrow. Which comedy was this we were watching? Because you're like, I'm going to see my family tomorrow. What are you doing tomorrow? Because they're trying to see if the pilot is suicidal.
I think ilikuwa a stand-up comedian. Wasn't Chris Rock?
I think it was Chris Rock, So,
tumefika hiyo level.
But I've just checked on who sells the most private jets. Hakuna Boeing. Kuna Bombardier, Challenger. And then kuna Dassault, Falcon. Nini mdomo changu, isi mdomo changu. Embraer. And then kuna yenye inajiita Gulfstream Aerospace. So hakuna Boeing is not one of them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So watu wa private planes wako sawa.
Yeah.
Okay. So alafu as if more flight dramas haija happen, pia kulikuwa na story still na Alaska Airlines where a student pilot tried to open the door of an Alaska Airlines cockpit multiple times where the plane was in air. That should not happen since 9/11, unajua hivyo? So the flight was traveling from California to Virginia on March 3rd, and according to an affidavit filed by Federal Air Marshal Thomas G. Pattinson and reviewed by CBS News, Pattinson said that the passenger identified as Nathan Jones was seated in the plane's seat E but left his seat multiple times.
Why?
Jones made separate attempts to go to the front of the plane and open the cockpit door.
Why?
So haijulikani. He's saying that he was just testing them, but now he's being charged with interference with flight crew members, and this carries up to 20 years in prison. You know, states after 9/11 they don't joke around with that, because hiyo unajua ukisikia unajaribu kufungua mlango ndio ufanye nini.
Yeah, exactly. And then it's a student pilot, right? Alikuwa pilot, yeah? Ama ni student wa kawaida tu mwenye anasoma kitu ingine?
Alikuwa nini? What's it called? He's a student wa pilot, but on that plane specifically was just a normal passenger.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If he tried to open and he got access, what if he tried to take over the
plane,
the craft itself?
So hapa nacheki Los Angeles to Nairobi, kuna a Los Angeles flight. I'm looking at your history.
Yeah.
And this was for Thursday 14th March. Ilikuwa natoka Los Angeles. It's an Airbus. After Doha to Nairobi, of course, wanakupatia Boeing. You see? Like, African lives matter. Oh, shit.
Anyway,
man.
as we are moving away from the scary stuff, talk about the story of the princess. The princess or duchess?
Yeah, Princess Mugani.
Kate.
Amefanya? Ile story yake ati amefanya surgery.
Do you think alienda ku get butt job, or they're covering up? Because she's not been seen in a while. And then the photo that she posted was overly photoshopped.
Yeah.
Do you think there's a cover up somewhere? Because when she went to hospital to get her surgery, initially she was supposed to stay in that hospital for 2 weeks. None of her family members ever went to visit her.
Oh, okay.
That's number one. Number two, and then apparently she was put in an induced coma, and then she stayed.
Ongeza matako. Basi ni princess.
No, sio hiyo. So kuna story mbili. Kuna hizi za wambea wa TikTok wanasema alienda kufanywa bad job, which is not true.
Yeah.
And then kuna conspiracy theories wengine wanasema they're trying to cover up something. So do you think there's a cover up?
What are they trying to cover up?
We don't know.
Okay, yes, then basi message. So she's not been seen in a long time.
She posted that photo that was photoshopped, and then she had to put a public apology and say, "Oh, I was just trying to,
make fun."
Yeah.
Oh.
But for her to be in the hospital all that time and no one going to see her, and then
the mosquitoes have become
too many.
So I guess I'll have to research on his story because right now I'm just floating.
Because that lady who was like, "Mwaf ni mdaku."
Yeah.
Mwaf ni mdaku.
Oh, he saw that. Because I always ask people about money. Okay, I'm just out here. It's one of those things where you want to show people you don't have to be a doctor if you don't want to be a doctor.
Yeah.
Because I really hate people who become doctors. And
also it's conversations that we don't, as Africans, we shy away from.
Yeah.
We don't talk about money.
So alafu pia a big shout out to Lemse alitag. There's someone who tagged a lot of these MMFs online akiwaambia they need to talk to IKONINI because I've been talking about money market funds. One of those companies was in my DM. I sent them the rate card. Sijui kama watuongea na mimi. Alafu tutachekiniaje, but it's good for people to learn these things. And yes, apart from inspire, we also want to inform. That's why tumekuambia kama una fly, safe flight. Because me notice kitu kama Qatar Airlines, flights za US to Doha ni all Airbus. Doha to Nairobi ni all Boeing. Like, what are you trying to say? Because saizi niko rada na Boeing jo. Wacha jo tumalizie jo hii story jo. Yeah. Tukimalizia nikifight na hizi mosquitoes tukisema ekonene.